Edward was an anomaly, a mix of smarts, humility, and quiet charisma that few noticed in the bustling hallways of St. Mark's High School. Though his parents threw lavish parties and drove the latest cars, Edward preferred the solitude of coding, comic books, and video games. His world revolved around his two best friends, Ian and Marcus, who shared his love for obscure trivia and late-night debates about superheroes. Then there was Emma. She was the kind of girl who seemed untouchable. Popular, radiant, and effortlessly kind, she was the heart of the school. Her laugh echoed through the corridors, and her knack for bringing people together made her beloved by students and teachers alike. Emma was also Edward's next-door neighbor, a fact that had kept his heart fluttering since they were kids. Edward and Emma's worlds rarely collided. He was invisible in her glittering orbit until one summer night changed everything. Edward's family had thrown another of their extravagant pool parties, and the neighborhood buzzed with laughter and music. Edward tried to stay out of sight, tucked away in his room until Ian and Marcus dragged him out. "You can't spend the whole summer behind a screen," Marcus said, shoving a drink into Edward's hand. And that's when he saw her, Emma, in a simple sundress, laughing with a group of mutual friends by the pool. For once, she wasn't surrounded by her usual entourage, and when her eyes met his, she smiled. "Edward, right?" she said, walking over. He nearly dropped his drink. Yeah. Hi. I didn't know you were into parties," she said, her tone light and teasing. "Not really my scene," he admitted, feeling a blush creep up his neck. "Same," she said, surprising him. "Mind if I hang out here for a bit?" That was the beginning. Over the next few weeks, their conversations grew longer and their walls crumbled. Edward learned that Emma's life wasn't as perfect as it seemed. Her parents were going through a messy divorce, and the pressure of being Miss Perfect weighed heavily on her. Emma, in turn, discovered Edward's dry humor, his love for technology, and his dreams of creating a world-changing app. At school, their budding friendship caught everyone's attention. Whispers followed them down the hallways, and Emma's friends didn't hide their disapproval. "Why him?" one of them sneered. But Emma didn't care. Neither did Edward, though he struggled to fit into her world. Dances, group hangouts, and lunch tables filled with laughter were unfamiliar territory. Still, Emma held his hand, and that was enough. Their first real challenge came during prom season. Emma was crowned queen as everyone expected. But when it came time for the king to be announced, she did the unthinkable. She refused to dance with anyone but Edward. "You sure?" he asked, self-conscious in his borrowed suit. "I've never been more sure," she said, pulling him onto the dance floor. The room was a mixture of stunned silence and applause, but Edward only saw her. Their relationship wasn't perfect. They had their fights, their moments of doubt, and the pressure of graduation looming over them. But their love was real, simple, messy, and true. Years later, when Edward's app became a sensation and Emma was running her own nonprofit, they would look back on those high school days with fondness, grateful that a nerd and a queen bee dared to cross paths.